The digital revolution has made quite an impact in business today. Consumers have been affected mostly by the changes in terms of marketing and advertising. Today in studio, we've got a renowned expert in the field of consumer market research as well as innovation, Gaurav Bhalla. Gaurav, welcome to South Africa.
Thank you.
Gaurav, your publication, Rethinking Marketing, is quite revolutionary and different in that it challenges the predominant paradigms of marketing.
Well, it forces people to think. First of all, let's call it an article. It was an HBR article because I do have another publication, which is a book, which is very related to the theme, new platforms for marketing and innovation. But I think the real issue with rethinking marketing is that when you ask most people, what is marketing? The two things that come to their minds first is either advertising or selling. And both of them are trying to sort of push something on a customer or a consumer. And what we're saying is that if you're going to start with brands, if you're going to start with products, then that's not the way marketing should be done. You should put the customer first and then bring in the value so that you can pull the customer into the business. So it's really customer centricity, customer focus that we advocate because brands were made for customers and consumers. Customers and consumers were not made for brands.
In a typical corporate setting, your marketing manager is looking at the bottom line and he's saying, I need to drive the profitability of the brand. But you advocating driving profitability of the customer.
Well, actually, that's only half the sentence. The other half is that if you drive the profitability of the customer, you also drive value for yourself. So there are two sides to value. One is the value a company provides to the customer or the consumer, and the other is the value that the customer or the consumer represents for the company. And we are advocating working both fronts simultaneously, because the more value I provide to you, the more you're likely to do business with me, the more valuable you're going to get for my company.
You refer to that as customer lifetime value.
Exactly.
Now, most analysts will judge a company on a 12-year or quarterly cycle, and that's always in the back of the mind of a marketing director.
It is, and as a matter of fact, some companies have had the guts to stand up to Wall Street and say, you know what, we're not going to be bullied by quarterly reviews, and we will judge ourselves on a longer term basis. And actually, Wall Street has stepped back and let some of those companies, if they have been able to demonstrate that they have a reasonable long-term agenda. But by and large, I have to agree with you that the single biggest enemy of what I would call customer-centric thinking is short-sightedness, is this quarterly attachment to results, or attachment to quarterly results, which leads to, I think, some very myopic decisions.
Let's talk about how we bring this into an organization. That data analytics are there, technology is there to provide a lot of information on customers to drive customer centricity. How does one in an organization really instill this type of thinking?
Well, there's an old saying, that common sense is not that common. So I think that if you just start at the basics, or American business, for example, they love sports analogies. So if you take American football and there's a team that's doing very badly and suddenly it starts doing very well, and the media interviews the coach, I can guarantee you 99% of the times the coach will say, well, you know what, it's all blocking and tackling, means it's all basics. If you get down to basics, without a customer, there is no business. So we can talk all day long about fabulous technologies, about social media, but at the end of the day, you need a customer. You need the customer to shake hands with the company. You need the customer to shake hands with the company not just once, but twice, 3 times, 4 times. And the only way that the customer is going to do that is if they are getting some value from you.
You propose something which is also revolutionary and new, the Chief Customer Officer.
Yes, we do. And that actually has been a bit of a disappointment because, again, that's a very, I have to be very honest with you. A lot of companies today have what they call customer care officers. If you call a call center, they will not call themselves, they will call themselves, we are customer care specialists. So this whole notion of customer care or caring for the customer or looking after the customer has really caught on. What has not caught on is a formal designation or a title within the company where there's a C-suite person who's actually entitled with looking after the customers of the company. I think it was an idea way ahead of its time. It's catching on. Will it actually flourish? I don't know. But many years ago, There were several articles in the Harvard Business Review that said the era of the chief strategy officer is here. Well, the chief strategy officer has yet to be born. So, that bet is still out there. We'll see how it plays out.
Certainly a lot of happening in the marketing world, in the world of corporates, in terms of marketing and customer centricity, and we look forward to seeing some of the developments that you speak about. Thank you, Gaurav.
Thank you very much.